On the news tonight, Senate confirms the appointment of 7 new ministerial nominees. Federal High Court stops CBN from releasing monthly allocation to Rivers State government. Lagos State government onboards 159 ministries, departments and agencies on its e-procurement platform. On the foreign scene, flash floods in southeastern Spain kills over 70, sweeps walls and cars. That's in a moment. Please stay with us. Good evening. Welcome to the news at 8 on Lagos Television. I am Yetunde Oladoto Amao. The Senate has confirmed the appointment of 7 ministerial nominees sent to it by President Bola Tinubu. The screening of the nominees was done at the Committee of the Whole, while their appointments were confirmed at plenary. Nentawe Yewata was confirmed as Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Muhammadu Digyadi as Minister of Labour and Employment, and Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu is the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs. Others are Jumoke Oduwole, Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Yusuf Abdullahi Atta, Minister of State, Housing and Urban Development, while Suwaiba Ahmed is the Minister of State for Education. Meanwhile, senators expressed satisfaction at Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu's achievement as a former ambassador to Spain.
To Spain, the mission building was in such an appalling condition. Together with very dedicated officers, we conducted the massive renovation works, not just on the mission building itself, giving Nigeria an edifice.
First, while I adopt all the sentiments that have been said earlier by the Anambra senators and the one from Enugu State, I will say that one, maybe because of her, Mr. President, by bringing an APGA person to be a minister, has already started with what we call a unity government and looking for national integration.
Listening to her, nobody can fault her qualification to serve this country in any capacity. She's very intelligent, very, very charismatic, and very beautiful. For her to step into this chamber to be confirmed, screened and confirmed as a Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is indicative of the fact that we are trying to put the past behind us in this country.
Senate President Godswill Akpabio, after the confirmation, congratulated the ministers designate and urged them to hit the ground running.
We congratulate all the nominees for this elevation by Almighty God, courtesy of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and also pray that God will give them the enablement to continue to put in their best for the upliftment of the citizenry and the benefit of this great country. Congratulations also to my colleagues, the distinguished senators, who have spent the better part of the day from morning till now.
President Bola Tinubu had last Wednesday sacked 5 ministers, reassigned 10 to new ministerial portfolios, and appointed 7 new ministers for the Senate confirmation. The House of Representatives has passed for third reading a bill for an act to prevent, prohibit, and redress sexual harassment in tertiary educational institutions. The bill is to promote and protect ethical standards in tertiary institutions by protecting students against sexual harassment in such institutions. Sponsor of the bill, Honorable Akintunde Rotimi, representing Ekiti North 1 Federal Constituency, while briefing journalists in the National Assembly, said the bill is to ensure that academic environment is safe and body shaming of students is prohibited.
An offense or a felony of sexual harassment if he or she engages in any form of unwelcome physical contact or verbal conduct of a sexual nature with a student or prospective student, or demands such conduct regardless of consent. Number 2, creates a hostile, offensive, or intimidating environment for a student by making unsolicited or inappropriate sexual advances or by requesting sexual favors. Number 3, directs, facilitates, assists, or encourages another person to engage in any act of sexual harassment as defined under this bill. Number 4, displays, sends, or distributes any form of sexually explicit or suggestive material, including images, videos, or objects to any student through any medium. Or number 5, makes verbal or non-verbal remarks, comments, or gestures of a sexual nature, or any remarks or conduct intended to degrade, humiliate, or body shame a student based on their physical appearance. Now, one thing you...
Speaking in support of the bill passage, President of the National Association of Nigerian Students, Lucky Omonife, noted that the bill will build confidence in learning process for students in the country and also address harassment in the academic environment. Other stakeholders also called on the civil society organizations to join in ensuring the passage of the bill.
Students are very happy. I want to specially thank the Honorable Rotimi for this legislative framework and to rescue Nigerian students from sexual harassment. You see, this builds confidence in learning process. As students in various higher institutions, we have confidence to learn very well without facing any form of intimidation. As president of NANS, we always get reports of lecturer, fellow students, non-academic staff disturbing students, and some students even commit suicide. A case in study is the Ebonyi State University student, a lady, and this bill is a turnaround.
Recall that the bill was introduced in the 9th Assembly by Honorable Julius Ihovare and Deputy Senate President Ovie Omoagege, but failed presidential assent before it was reintroduced in the 10th Assembly. The Federal High Court in Abuja has stopped the Central Bank of Nigeria from further releasing monthly financial allocations to the Rivers State government. The court held that the receipt and disbursement of monthly allocations since January this year by Governor Fubara is a violation of the Constitution and an aberration that must not be allowed to continue. Justice Joyce Abdul Malik, who issued the order, held that the presentation of the 2024 budget by Governor Fubara before a 4-member Rivers State House of Assembly was an affront to the constitutional provisions of Nigeria.
To put into rest the impunity going on in the Rivers State relating to expenditure, is clearly that people are not looking at the issues of constitutionality. People goes on the air to talk about attend by the call to rein in unconstitutionality. Today, this judgment is to rein in unconstitutional behavior of the governor going on in the state, and in the judgment were delivered. And we are going to implement this judgment. We are going to serve the necessary agencies, the Central Bank of Nigeria and other agencies who are supposed to give the authority to spend money.
Urge for the restraint of CBN, Accountant General of the Federation, Zenith and Access Bank from further allowing Governor Fubara access money from the Consolidated Revenue and Federation accounts. Here in Lagos, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says the state government will continue to partner with individuals and organizations intending to establish investment and projects in the state. Governor Sanwo-Olu reiterates this at the groundbreaking of IBOM Towers in Lagos, noting that this will bring more development to Lagos State.
We are deeply grateful and hugely appreciative. This is the very essence of bipartisanship, governance, and bringing development to the people should not be colored or determined by political affiliations. You have shown us love and you have helped as much as you can without breaking the rules that governs the building development plan of your state.
We're here to celebrate a great partnership. We're here to celebrate purposeful governance. We're here to celebrate development for our people. And we're here that after we've done politicking, it is meaningful development, it's purposeful development, is ensuring that we create wealth for our people, we create wealth for our citizens. That's what we're here for. We're lucky that this investment is happening in Lagos. And Lagos continues to remain home to a lot of investment, both local and international. But it gives us, that unique opportunity to say to you that Lagos continues to carry, the essence of where development sits with us as a nation.
Sanwo-Olu assures the people of Akwa Ibom State that the property will be properly guarded.
The governance is supposed to be. We're supposed to do peer review. We're supposed to look at where you have comparative advantage and utilize that comparative advantage to the benefit and to the betterment of your people. And so, indeed, we are happy that Akwa Ibom State and the Akwa Ibom government has made this decision. The investment will be safe. We can assure you that your investment has received all of the fiscal planning approval without missing out on any.
Governor Sanwo-Olu commended his Akwa Ibom State counterpart, Umo Eno, for his leadership commitment and for being a detribalized Nigerian. The suspended chairman of Alimosho local government, Jalil Sulaiman, has asked the Lagos State House of Assembly for forgiveness. This is coming nearly a month after he was suspended for non-compliance, defiance and unyielding attitude to the Legislative House. Olatunde Yusuf reports.
In a letter of apology personally signed by the embattled chairman and addressed to the speaker and read on the floor of the House, the suspended chairman agreed that his actions may have caused disrespect to the House. He expresses regrets and promised to give maximum respect to the House and work closely with legislators moving forward.
I'm ready to express my most sincere and heartfelt apology for any actions, inactions, misrepresentation or conduct on my part that may have contributed to the recent misunderstanding between myself and the esteemed Lagos State House of Assembly under your leadership. Upon reflection, I realized that my conduct and certain decisions I made might have been perceived as disrespectful or contrary to the standard of leadership.
The letter read by the clerk of the House also informed the House through a letter by his lawyers that he has withdrawn the suit he filed against the Assembly before a federal high court in Abuja.
I've always held the Lagos State House of Assembly and your esteemed office in particular in the highest regard. Recognize the pivotal role in ensuring good governance, safeguarding the interests of the people of Lagos State. Any action of miscommunication that may have suggested otherwise was an unfortunate oversight on my part. I'm committed to fostering a more constructive and respectful relationship going forward and work closely with the House henceforth. I sincerely apologize for any inconveniences caused by my actions or inactions. I look forward to the opportunity to engage constructively with the House and continue serving the people of Lagos State in a manner that honors our shared value of open
and public service.
Meanwhile, the House of Assembly is yet to debate on the letter.
The Minister of Works, David Umahi, says the federal government needs over 19 trillion naira to enable it construct 2,604 inherited road projects across the country. The minister who stated this while briefing newsmen in Abuja said the increase in the figure is due to variation in prices and foreign exchange rates.
If he has no knowledge of anything, then his knowledge becomes his God. So I will not join issues with him. But no one in life ever said that I failed. And I've never failed in anything I'm involved in. He sounded as if he was representing the contractors. And what were the issues in Ministry of Works? The issue of variation on price, VOP. And that was a very terrible program that was, eroding the little resources we put in the budget to do projects.
Dissatisfaction with remarks made by the Chairman, House Committee on Federal Road Maintenance Agency, Honorable Remi Oseni, which suggested that the minister lacks concrete plan to repair Nigeria's deteriorating road networks across the country. The Lagos State government has harped on the need for road users, transport workers, union and stakeholders to obey traffic rules and regulations to ensure safety of lives and property, especially during the Ember months. This is the core message at the Ember Month campaign and safety advocacy event held in Lagos. Joshua Morakinyo reports.
The increase in the number of accidents and carnage during the Ember month has always necessitated a call for action for responsible driving. Here at Bonny Camp, Lagos Island, it's time to remind the drivers about the need to pay attention to their health and to all road safety regulations.
The beauty of their job as professional driver is to leave home safely and arrive home safely to join their family. So I want to appeal to them that this Ember month and beyond, they should be mindful of their speed, they should be mindful of the condition of their vehicles, and to ensure that their vehicle is in good condition at all times.
I've learned how to be a good road user. I've learned how to maintain traffic rules and regulations.
I advise them to move betterly on the road and obey the traffic law, not to go beyond the Lagos State order.
According to the Lazarus boss, ensuring safety on Lagos roads is critical.
Those signs, as a driver, if you don't know it, we call it a killer. Or the signs on the road there, they are telling you what is expected of you to do to be a better driver. What we are passionate about is what Mr. Governor is passionate about, which is a safety of life and property. And we believe you can achieve that through continuous training.
If we educate and remind all these road users ahead of time, they can prepare themselves for the rushing hour of that season, such that they will be able to apply all those knowledge that they have acquired from the agency.
Stakeholders at this event, which include military personnel, LATMA, VIS officials, appeal to professional drivers and road users to have basic knowledge of traffic rules, ensure their vehicles were in good condition to ensure safety as they contribute positively to economic growth of the state. Joshua Murakio, LTV News, Lagos.
Still ahead. Loma cleans up K2 markets to prevent outbreak of diseases capable of endangering public health. That's in a moment. Please don't go away.
Must commend LTV television for the regular sensitization that has been going on the channel, raising the consciousness of our people on the issue of kidnapping.
Environmentalists in Lagos have advised market men and women to ensure their markets are clean in order to prevent an outbreak of disease and also to protect the environment from degradation. Bukola Tiloko tells us more.
As early as 8 a.m., these lovers of the environment gathered at Ketu Fruit Market to clean up the environment and ensure it is healthy for buying and selling. They say a clean and healthy market would guard against the outbreak of diseases that could endanger public health.
We need to do things proactively, like clean up our areas that we live in. That will encourage better stress levels. It will reduce our stress and make sure that we relax better as a people.
Lagos State don't toy with environmental. Earth is wealth. We have our team of environmental sanitation team that they do work here on weekly and daily basis. The vehicle that do converge our waste are entering this market on every day.
The cleanup exercise was also an opportunity for traders to learn about the circular economy and the Waste to Energy initiative.
The government agenda is to ensure that we have low maintenance in our society, meaning that there is a means to divide organic waste from the landfill. And to do that is to provide a enable environment to reconvert this organic waste to resource material. One of them is biogas.
From research, we know that fruits waste can actually generate biogas and compost, right? And here in the Ketu market, we have a biogas digester, and it has not been harnessed. So we want a situation whereby the market people themselves begin to segregate their waste into the kind of waste that can actually feed into the biodigester, and then it can produce electricity for them as well as cooking gas.
Recall that the Lagos State Waste Management Authority, LOMA, announced a zero-tolerance policy for unhygienic practices in markets across the state, with defaulting markets facing the full weight of the law. Bukola Taylor-Cole, LTV News.
The federal government is being asked to address issues of outdated infrastructural facilities, poor remuneration, delayed salaries, and other challenges confronting medical practitioners in the country. President, Nigerian Medical Association, Professor Bala Audu, stated this at the opening of the 2024 Physicians Week in Lagos. Health correspondent Aminat Eligushi reports.
It is the opening ceremony and scientific conference of the Nigerian Medical Association Physician Week 2024 here in Lagos. The gathering with a theme ensuring universal applicability on remuneration, a panacea to talent retention in healthcare industry, also focuses on mitigating the impact of infectious diseases, addressing the monkeypox outbreak and beyond. Dr. Babajide Kehinde Said, Chairman NMA Lagos, giving the speech of the President NMA, emphasized the need for government intervention in reducing the rate of brain drain in the health sector.
Many doctors, indeed, health workers generally, find themselves overworked and unpaid, and inconsistency in salary in which they earn. It's evident not only across the country, but even within the similar health institution. This disparity discourages young and talented healthcare worker professionals from entry or staying in the workforce of this country.
Talking about the workforce, how many doctors do we have in Nigeria? Last year we had 58,000. This year our lunch is 55,000. And why do they leave? Overstretched. They live because of overstretched health system, poor remuneration, and of course, dilapidated or outdated infrastructure.
Wife of Lagos State Governor Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, who was here represented, commended the medical professionals and assured of the state government's commitment to prioritizing the welfare of their members.
These themes for the 2024 Physician Week is a call to action for healthcare stakeholders, policymakers, and governments to collaborate in creating a sustainable framework that retains our valuable professions within our borders. I commend each one of you for the resilience you have shown in managing outbreaks, treating patients, and educating the public reflects not only your medical expertise, but also your compassion for humanity.
24 Physician Week, foundational component of sustainable healthcare, fair and universal remuneration. The health professionals are seeking a workable solution to strengthening and retaining the workforce of its member in Nigeria. Aminat Elegushi, LTV News.
The Sickle Cell Foundation Nigeria has successfully completed the first bone marrow transplant for sickle cell patients using advanced technology and expertise. Chairman of the Sickle Cell Foundation, Tunde Afolabi, who disclosed this to newsmen in Lagos, says the move is to reduce expensive medical tourism and provide accessible, life-saving treatment for Nigerians affected by the disorder.
These bone marrow transplants that we have carried out, while groundbreaking, remain expensive, and Sickle Cell Foundation aims to make it accessible to those in need. Many individuals with sickle cell disorder live below the poverty line and face significant barriers to care. This underscores the critical need for multi-sectoral collaborations and funding support to create a sustainable model of treating sickle cell disorder in Nigeria.
Nigerians with sickle cell across the country will be able to access care, any kind of care that they need, as long as they have sickle cell, through a digital platform that has been created by Sickle Cell Foundation Nigeria. Have set up an access to care program that anybody who has sickle cell in Nigeria can just click. At the end of the day, we have our phones. That's what does everything. Access it, and then we link you up with a donor, a sponsor.
Foundation is also seeking support to reduce the incidence of disorder and provide comprehensive care for those living with sickle cell anemia.
After weeks of meticulous, painstaking expert care, both patients have now been discharged from the hospital and will continue to be followed up. Gentlemen of the press, the story of the Sickle Cell Foundation and Luth Bone Marrow Transplant Center will be incomplete without acknowledging the pivotal role of Lagos State. Indeed, Lagos State provided the initial funding for the civil works at the Oliko Irasonkoti Children Emergency Center, LUTH.
Availability of this service keys into one of the agendas of the federal government led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the coordinating minister for health, Professor Mohamed Ali Pate. One of the things that government is trying to do is to provide quaternary care in tertiary hospitals. And government is providing significant funding in that regard. And it's not just for this procedure, it's across all areas of care.
It is also developing a digital platform that will connect sponsors with patients in need of financial support. Experts are advocating green medicine as a gateway to sustainable healthcare delivery to explore the potential of nature-based solutions for the country's healthcare system. A professor of pharmacology, therapeutic and toxicology, Adejuwon Adeneye of the Lagos State University, says the use of green medicine is often not to cure or prevent diseases, but also to restore pathological damage.
Collaboration and intellectual convergence between orthodox medical and health practitioners whose central focus is the patient. In truth, there are lots of ideas and experiences to learn from one another if we must set aside the program of intellectual and professional arrogance and work towards the common goal of providing quality and efficient healthcare services for our patients.
Professor Adeneye emphasized that green medicine entails far more than just the sustainability of medical products and minimization of medical waste, but seeks to stretch the boundary beyond its environmental connotation.
ensure before starting any herbal product, especially with existing medication to control drug habit correction. The public is also encouraged to ensure that the herbal products are obtained from reliable and licensed sources. It is equally important to research the active and follow dosage prescription carefully to avoid side effects.
Green medicine as an alternative, to health, human's health in the society. So government should not just concentrate on the medical things. They should, use another approach in order to ensure safety of life.
Just call on the Nigerian government to ensure that the recommendations of Professor Adeneye are not thrown into the bin, to make sure they work on them. If they are truthfully worked on, Nigeria will be better for it, and it's also a panacea to reducing the Japa syndrome that bequeathed the medical profession in recent times.
The theme for this discourse is Green Medicine, Nature's Gateway to Sustainable Healthcare Delivery in Nigeria. Coming up, independent marketers seek purchase of petrol directly from Dangote refinery to reduce costs. That's on Business News. Join us again.
Do you know that as a viewer, you have the right to complain about any broadcast content or conduct of Lagos Television you are not pleased about? For any of such complaints, call or SMS Director Programs on 00333-44915, Director News 003-696-2772, or Head Marketing 0022829898, or any of our social media handles. Lagos Television, the voice of Lagos.
On Business News tonight, President Bola Tinubu believes that the presidential initiative for sales of crude and refined petroleum products in Naira will help in creating more employment by promoting local investment. This is coming from the chairman of the presidential initiative and Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, while briefing State House correspondents after a meeting on the initiative stakeholders with President Bola Tinubu.
With private sector refining of crude oil, we now have raw materials, not just for agriculture, but for industry, for chemicals, for paints, for building materials, for textiles. And of course, this is Mr. President's strategy and his policy of making conditions ripe for the private sector to invest, create jobs.
The minister further explains that after a seamless takeoff of the laudable initiative, Mr. President has expressed his desire to ensure a good national economy where local investments can thrive. On the direct impact of the sales of crude to local refiners in Naira, the minister says the cascading effects will be instantly felt in the increased allocations to the sub-national government as the NNPC's balance sheet will improve tremendously. Meanwhile, on the consistent scarcity of petroleum products despite the readiness of a local refinery to satisfy local consumption, member of the committee, Aliko Dangote, says the challenge is with retailers who have not been forthcoming and still choose to be importing.
It's a brand new refinery. So obviously we are now at about 420,000 barrels per day. We still have 1/3 to go. Once we get there, we have enough Naira crude, we'll be able to fully satisfy the market. But when NNPC refineries work going forward, then Nigeria will be actually one of the biggest exporter of petroleum products in history.
Meanwhile, the federal government has commenced the sales of crude oil and other refined petroleum products in Naira on October 1, 2024. This strategic initiative hopes to increase the capacity of local refinery that will in turn reduce dependence on imported fuel and saving billions of dollars. Meanwhile, the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria has urged the Dangote refinery to consider direct sales of petrol, citing significant delays and outstanding payments from the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited. President of IPMAN, Abubakar Maigadi, says marketers are eager to buy fuel directly from Dangote to address ongoing supply issues which has caused delays in loading at NNPC depots. He was reacting to a recent video where the president of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, says his refinery has capacity to provide enough petrol to satisfy local consumption, but accuses independent marketers of preferring to import. In the face of the dwindling economy and rising cost of goods and services, which has significant implications for public procurement practitioners and service providers, the Lagos State government, through the State's Public Procurement Agency, has brought together stakeholders in the public procurement process and various ministries, departments, and agencies to deliberate and generate ideas that will strengthen public procurement process in the state. Speaking on the theme, ensuring best practices in public procurement in a dwindling economy, the Director General, Lagos State Public Procurement Agency, Fatai Onofawote, says the summit is designed for stakeholders to strategize on ways to drive service delivery without compromising quality or circumventing due process in public procurement.
At the various levels where we have found ourselves in the country, how does this reform affect us? How does it ensure that process that needs to be followed is not truncated, or we don't have anything less than what we are supposed to do professionally? So we have put professionals together, we have added stakeholders, so that at the level of operation, the officers in procurement actually have a very good understanding of what is considered as minimum requirement of the various reforms, and they apply it in the various offices where they find themselves, because we are supposed to be an enabler.
What we're after is accountability, due process. You know, we normally, before the advent of public procurement agency, people are just doing whatever they are doing. But with this now, and with the help of Lagos State Assembly, we've promulgated law that guides the public procurement. So that's why it is good for the people of Lagos State.
Special Advisor to the Governor on Taxation and Revenue, Abdulkabir Ogungbo, speaks on the impact of statutory deductions and the recently launched Lagos Revenue Portal.
This is just to reassure our people that our programs are designed to alleviate some of the challenges that we're facing, and it's going to improve as we go along. So we are confident that is a system that will improve whatever we're doing.
No adherence to best practices in the implementation of the public procurement law is a serious offense which is punishable under the law. You must therefore desist from unlawful actions which can bring the state government into disrepute and cast doubts on the integrity of the public procurement system of the state.
It is expected that the summit will produce resolutions that will strengthen the capacity of the state's public procurement agency to design and implement strategies and policies that will drive improved service delivery.
The stage is set for Africa's first mixed team table tennis open championships holding in Lagos this week at the Samuel Adeokoya Thermos Sport Indoor Sport Hall of the Teslim Balogun Stadium, Surulere. Organized under the auspices of the Nigeria Table Tennis Federation, the tournament is sponsored by Cell Empowerment Foundation, an initiative of Senator representing Lagos East Senatorial District, Adetokunbo Abiru, and his wife, Feishola. Speaking at the press conference regarding the championship, Senator Abiru, who was represented by his chief media aide Eniton Olukotun, said the event marks another significant milestone in the history of professional table tennis tournament in Nigeria. Olukotun commended the NTTF's effort on the tournament, noting that Cell Empowerment Foundation is proud to partner with the historic championship, which attracted players neighboring West African countries, Togo and Benin Republic.
What we are doing is for us to blaze the trail that we have been having mixed table tennis championship in other climes, that we can bring it down here in Africa. And we are very proud, to be part of this historic moment, because it's really historic. This is the first time it's happening, in Africa, and we are particularly glad that it's happening here in the heart of Lagos. So Lagos always comes first in virtually everything, particularly in sports.
President, Africa Table Tennis Federation and Executive Vice President, International Table Tennis Federation, Eniton Shodi, lauded the Cell Empowerment Foundation for contributing to the growth of the sport.
The support we're getting from the Cell Empowerment Foundation, it's unprecedented. Normally we don't see them in these areas, but now we're looking that the point they've made is that using sports as youth empowerment, as a form of youth empowerment, and hopefully it would help us attract a lot of other sponsors. The NTTF is very pleased with this. I was in talks with the chairman, the president, who is coming in from Abuja, and this was an unexpected blessing. So we're very grateful to Cell Empowerment Foundation, Senator Abiru and his wife for the support they're giving us.
Oshodi explained that the Mixed Table Tennis Championship will aid talent discovery and help players familiarize with new tournament format in Africa.
The prize money is quite attractive, but more importantly, of course, there are ranking points as well that go towards your national ranking. Gives us an opportunity to see the best young players as well. Matthew Kuti, Moise Adegoke, currently the African team men's champion. Now we can see them here in Lagos, see the improvements they've made, rapid improvements over the last year or so. This helps us, the Federation, African Table Tennis, to assess where these players are.
Director General Lagos State Sports Commission Leko Fatodu expressed pride in Lagos hosting the first mixed team tournament in Africa, reinforcing the state's status as a leading sport hub on the continent.
Because the government cannot do it alone, it is very important and strategic for us that we are always available to embrace people, like the senator who is, putting his resources and support for this kind of initiative. And similarly, somebody like Mr. Eniton Oshodi, who has just been elected as the president of the Africa Table Tennis Federation, he has always been at the forefront of the development of the sport.
The Senator Abiru Mixed Championship will feature 28 teams divided into 8 groups of 3 or 4 teams each. The top 2 teams from each group will advance to the knockout stage. The finals will hold on Saturday, November 2nd, 2024. British number 1 Kati Boulter is into the quarterfinals of Hong Kong Open after a straight set win over China's Wang Qiyu. The 28-year-old searching for a third title of the year beat Wang 7-6.
Thank you for staying with us. Flash flooding has killed at least 72 people in the southeastern Spain as large amounts of rain flooded buildings and rendered highways unusable. Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez says rescue teams have recovered some bodies and are still working tirelessly to find those fared missing. Sanchez promised residents in affected areas of protection as he announced a 3-day mourning period. Some locations in southern and eastern Spain received up to 12 inches of rain in just a few hours on Tuesday. Footage from the city of Valencia showed muddy water flooding through the streets, tearing down walls and sweeping away parked cars. Let's take a look at tomorrow's weather forecast. Before we end the news tonight, a quick reminder of our top stories. The Senate has confirmed the appointment of 7 ministerial nominees presented to it by President Bola Tinubu. Justice Joyce Abdul-Malik of the Federal High Court has asked the CBN to stop the release of monthly allocations to the Rivers State government over the presentation of 2024 budget to a 4-member House of Assembly panel. The Lagos State government has onboarded 159 ministries, departments and agencies on e-procurement platform to improve service delivery. On the foreign scene, we told you that flash flood in southeastern Spain has killed 72 as rescue team recovered some bodies in southern and eastern Spain. For more news, please connect with Lagos Television on these social media platforms. Life is a succession of lessons which must be lived to be understood. Please remember to call Lagos toll-free lines 767 or 112 in case of emergencies. Thank you for watching the news at 8 on Lagos Television. We wish you a wonderful night rest.